In this document called Creating and Testing an API Application to Retrieve Data via Alma Analytics, you've got a step down here that I'm unable to duplicate, and it's right here. It's after you enter the path name and you click on Execute Request that you're supposed to, in the Response tab, see that it successfully ran that request. Maybe I'm not using the right terminology, but you're supposed to see something like this, and instead I'm seeing a error message. So for example, let's say that I wanted to do this report here. It says items loaned by a patron group, and it's in my folder called Reports RJR, Collection Analysis, and then it says items loaned by patron group. So what I can do is click on More and then Properties, and I can copy this path right here and also the name, and I'll get something that looks like this. And then I'll put that into the path, and what I get is a response saying that the API key is not correct. So what I'm going to do is I logged in, and you see I logged in right here, and I clicked on Applications. I'm going to add an application and just kind of walk through this. So it's items loaned by patron group, and platform I've been doing multi-purpose, and then save, and then it says choose an API. I'm going to choose Analytics, and then I accept terms and conditions, and then click Save. And then I go to Docs Alma, and then I select where it says API Console, and then under Select an API, again I do Analytics, and under Resource it's Alma AWS Analytics Reports, method get, and then select an application. I'm going to select the one I just did, which is items loaned by patron group, and then click Authentication. Under None I do API key, and then I get this, and I'm going to go ahead and save it, although I'm not really sure why I need it, because that's not the API key that I use, because we have one for our institution, and I really don't see the value in this. So that would be another question I have, is what is the point of this key right here? Anyway, I'm doing that because the instructions in here say that that is what you're supposed to do. So we're right here, step 10. We just did step 10, and then step 11 is perform the get. So I put the path in, so I'm going to do that right now, and I'm going to copy that path that I just found and put that in this box, and then it says to click Execute Request. And here, when I click Execute Request, I get a message that says access denied for user to path. And so that's my question, is what am I doing wrong at this point? Why am I getting this particular message? And if I go to, let's see, query, if I take this link right here and I try to paste that in the URL address box, no, that's interesting. So I don't know why it's doing that. Before, it was giving me some kind of message, and I see I'm not going to highlight get, so I'm just highlighting the HTTPS part. When I open up a new tab and put that in there, then this is what I sent you, was this message, I think. And so it says a gateway error has occurred. Make sure you add an appropriate API key as a parameter or a header. So it's like, what do I do at this point? Why am I seeing this response here and not something that looks like this? Thanks.